Boom, what's up beautiful people? So in this video we're going to compare different distribution channels for indie hackers, solopreneurs, bootstrap founders, whatever the hell you call yourself, doesn't really matter, and just rank them from A, B, C, D, F tier, which is the best for you to grow your business, get your first customers, all that nice stuff. So why should you listen to me? Maybe you shouldn't, right? But I've been doing this for close to 10 years at this point, and I'm sure you can tell even by listening to me, like I'm not super genius, smart guy. I'm pretty average, and that makes me a great case study, I believe, to study. You know, I can tell you what I have tried, what has worked for me, and what has not worked for me, and you can maybe learn a couple of things. This is a sad thing, but I have to say this every time. I haven't just appeared out of nowhere pretending to be a guru, making money, let me make you become a millionaire in 90 days or any of that bullshit. Like, I've been posting online every single day since 2020, and even before that, since 2018, I've been posting on my Twitter. You can go and see my Twitter, and you can even check my personal website. You can check my daily blogs. Wait, why is it so slow? Okay, so if you go to my personal website, you can go to the oldest blog post, and you can see like I didn't even know how to work, you know, like time and priorities, ready to start working, getting organized. I was like, I didn't even know how to work. I didn't know anything. I hadn't even started like a proper business yet. So you can go and read, like, basically go inside my mind, right, for the whole process. Maybe it's useful. And my only motivation here, like I'm not selling any course or anything like that, is just not to go back to an office like this. That is my only goal here. Okay, so I always start with this, that anything can work and everything has worked for other people, right? So I'm not going to tell you what to do or what to say or what to think. I'm just going to show you what I have tried, what has worked for me and what has not, okay? I want you to try everything for yourself, and you see for yourself what works best for you. And we're going to be talking about channels, so I have to recommend this book. It's called Traction, and it's co-written by the co-founder of DuckDuckGo. And be careful, because there are two books called Traction, okay? So I would recommend that you read this book. It goes through every single channel, 19 different channels, how to test them, this and that. It's a pretty timeless book as well. So I would say have a look at that book. Okay, so let's begin by, I think we can agree that at this point, for most of us, nobody's, distribution is more important than product, okay? You can have the best product in the world. If no one knows about it, it doesn't matter, right? Or the best service in the world, or fill in the blank. And at the same time, you can have a mediocre, okay product, average, and have insane distribution, and you can become crazy rich and improve the product over time as well. And actually, this is I was thinking about this yesterday, that, you know, when was the last time that a new channel came up? It's 2024 now. The last time that we had a new channel was TikTok, like a major channel. That was 2016, almost 10 years now, where we have no new channels and the competition is rising all the time. So distribution is becoming more and more and more and more and more important every single day, not less. Okay, so for simplicity, we're going to focus on 3 types of channels. So inbound, outbound, and ads. That's it, very simply. We're abstracting a lot of things here, but honestly, it's better like this. So inbound, we're going to see a few different styles, outbound as well, ads, and a few bonus ones. So let's go and then rank them as A, B, C, D, or F tier. Okay, so inbound, first of all, we have social, which I believe is very underrated, okay? And depending on what your product, who your target customer is, there are different platforms, different social platforms. So we have, like, if you're a B2C product, probably it's going to be Instagram and TikTok. These are easy to grow, but convert pretty badly. Like, an anecdotal story is my brother. So my brother, he started a account on TikTok, and within 3 months, he was able to get it up to 60k followers, which is not that bad, right? But he wasn't able to make a single dollar from that account. And we tried quite a few things, right? But people were not like paying or anything like that. And, you know, compare that to like my business is built on a 30,000 Twitter account. That's it, 30,000 follower Twitter account, like nothing crazy, but the conversions are insane. Like I have so many millionaires following me and even billionaires, and it's just like insane. But it's harder to grow. Like it took me 2 years to get to 1,000 followers. Can you believe that? 2 years of consistently tweeting to get to 1,000 followers. And that's what I try to remind myself with this YouTube account as well. Like these things take time, but the channel is the most important element of your business, I think. Many times we should start with channels. Like if you build up a Twitter audience, trust me, you can find a product. Same with YouTube, podcasts, whatever. I think YouTube and podcast as well is even harder to grow, but the conversions are even higher. So again, an anecdotal story. I try to give you a little anecdotal story for each one. So this one, my brother, this one, my own business, and this one, there's a podcast called My First Million, maybe you've heard of it, and they have mentioned me twice. One time it was like a little 5-minute segment where they spoke about Cyber Leads, my little business, and how cool it is, how simple it is, and how amazing it is. And the second time they had the whole podcast on $1 million solo businesses, and I was featured in that as well. And in both times I got so many customers and so many clients as well. That's crazy. I think they made me like maybe $250,000 recurring revenue if I was to add all the, of course people churn, right? But if I added them all together, probably $250,000 in revenue they brought in. Not in recurring revenue, I mean, per year. So a lot, anyway, a lot of money. And they only mentioned me for like 5 minutes. So you can imagine with the type of distribution they have, what they can do, right? So anyway, so these are high-level social inbound channels. I think this is like the... Anyway, we're going to rank them. Spoiler alert, this is like A tier social. We have more inbound channels, where we have SEO and a few other things. So SEO is very hard to grow and pretty low conversions for me, right? Like maybe I'm not the right person to listen to because I have never been able to make SEO grow. Never. I've tried a lot, but I've always failed. And honestly, it just takes too damn long. And many times, especially in the beginning, I don't think that your first channel should be SEO. And we're going to talk about timing of channels later. So SEO, very hard to grow, in my opinion, and pretty low conversions as well. Then you have email list, which it's hard to grow, but the conversions are great. So right now, like I have a newsletter for Cyber Leads, a free one, a free newsletter, kind of like a lead magnet, and I have like 3,500 subscribers at the time of this recording. And honestly, like it's a gold mine. Whenever I need more clients, I just send out an email to the 3,500 subscribers and I say, you know, I have this little offer for the next 3 days because I want to take on a new client, 20% off, just subscribe and let me know when you do it. Boom, I can get like 2 or 3 clients on whenever I want to, basically. So email list is very powerful and something that you should consider. Of course, these are a little bit more long-term, maybe, email list, I don't know, but in general, it's a great channel as well. And then it's word of mouth, where I don't really want to cover this too much because it's not really in our control, you know? I mean, word of mouth is my #1 channel right now, but can I take credit for that? Not really, right? I try to provide the best service I can. I try to build the best product that I can build, but I cannot take credit for that. Okay, so that's it with inbound. So inbound, we have social, which depending on your target customer, it's either going to be B2C, B2B, or both. And then we have SEO and email list and word of mouth. Those are the inbound channels that I have tried multiple times and I have an opinion on. Now let's move to outbound, okay? Now outbound is really good to start your business, and we're going to go into that again later, but you have two types of outbound. You have warm and you have cold. And a warm outbound is like you message your friends and your family and past clients and past prospects that you've spoken to and newsletter subscribers and Twitter followers, people that know you, all that stuff, you know. All these are considered warm outbound for me. This converts really well in the sense that conversions are high, but of course the number of people that you can reach out to is very low, right? Like with cold outbound, you can reach out to millions of businesses. But with warm outbound, maybe like 100 people. But the conversions are high, so it's a great way to start with warm outbound. And then we have cold outbound, where it's basically email, cold calling. I've never been able to get any results with cold calling. And then cold DMs, and then send letters and gifts to people. I've tried most of these things. Email is like the 80-20 of this. It's the easiest and it works pretty well. Yeah, I mean, these take less time than social, like inbound channels, but they take more time than warm outreach. So I always recommend start with warm outreach, then add cold outreach, and in the meantime, like build your social and SEO and all that other stuff. So start with outbound and build inbound at the same time, and boom, then you have both together. Now, other channels, a few bonuses like launches. That's a great way to get customers. Like many times people forget these things. Like launching is a strategy, you know, like you can get your first 10 customers with a launch, and that's how I got my first 10 customers with Cyberleads. I launched on Product Hunt. And then you have another little hack, which is you can utilize marketplaces. You know, you can list your product on like a marketplace as a plugin, like a GitHub marketplace or Figma or Slack marketplace or whatever. And OpenAI, right? Like the OpenAI ChatGPT marketplace is opening up right now as I'm talking about this. Like those places are a great way to hack the acquisition problem. Of course, it's going to be competitive again, but there's so much traffic going there that it's just like you're casting your little net on a river full of fish. So I think it's a great hack. If you don't have any distribution, you don't have any social media, accounts, nothing, I would go there in the beginning. Of course, you have long-term risk, right? So now that I've been running my business for 4 years, I wouldn't like to be reliable on a single platform. But to start, this is amazing. Like launching and then a marketplace. Then another bonus thing is affiliate program. I've never been able to make this work at a point where it's worth it. Like just handling payments to all my affiliates was a pain in the ass. I just killed the program 2 times I've done it. But I got some good insights. Like some people ran some interesting ads to bring customers to me, so I have a few interesting ideas. So something came out of this, but it wasn't really a 10x to my business. It was more like a distraction, if you will. And then, going viral maybe is another channel, and this is very difficult to pull off, but some people have. Like one of them is Harry Dry. He runs marketing examples, and he made this wonderful play with a Kanye West website, dating website, where Taylor Swift fans were not allowed on the website, like stupid shit like that, but like super tailored to journalists and had all the ingredients to go viral. Peter Levels, of course, the legend, he also played wonderfully this thing here when it was COVID, and no, post-COVID, I think, when Apple was requesting everyone to go back to the office. He He put up like a big billboard that said, you don't need to go back to the office, remoteok.io. But these are more high-level plays. I don't think this is easy to pull off. So from here, keep launches, keep marketplaces. I think these two are interesting. Okay, so ads. This is the last part. So we have inbound, outbound, and now a few extra ones, and now ads. So with ads, I will not focus on this because it's capital intensive, and of course it can work. I told you about that affiliate of mine that ran a few ads, and I have a few ideas of what could work and what could not because they were converting well. But by proxy, I will assume that we are similar, and we don't want to spend too much money. We want high profit businesses with organic, easy acquisition. So I'm not gonna focus on this. And frankly, I don't really know. I haven't run ads successfully in my life. I haven't run ads, period. So next. So one very important thing here to remember is that all these channels, they're not mutually exclusive. Like I'm doing outbound now and I'm also building my inbound and they're separate. No, they work together, okay? So for example, with warm inbound, you get your first customers. And then with your first customers, you get your first testimonials. And then with your first testimonials, you get your first social proof, and your brand is starting to get built. And with that, it helps you grow your revenue and grow your social media. And now that you have more social media, you have more inbound. And the amount of times that people respond to my cold emails and they say, hey, I know you from Twitter and I've heard about you on My First Million, let's talk. So my Twitter helps with my cold emails and vice versa. The cold email brings people into my email list, and then my email list is warm outbound, and they all work together. Okay, that's what I want you to keep from this. And then word of mouth grows and so on and so forth. They all work together. Okay, and at different times, different channels have better performance than others. And let's rank them, and then we'll see also a little bonus timeline of when do different channels peak and when are they the best. So I would say A tier is YouTube and podcast, right? That's the deepest you can go. Like people trust you, they have you in their ears and they listen to you. You can influence people at scale at a very deep level. They have this parasocial relationship with you. They feel like they know you and they like you, hopefully. And it's a great way to build a brand. I think it's the best. So YouTube and podcast is A tier, definitely. And then email list as well is A tier. So because I can tell you I have, funnily enough, I have 35,000 Twitter followers and 3,500 newsletter subscribers for CyberLeads. So it's literally 10x less than my Twitter. But I would say they're equal in power. Maybe the email list is even more powerful, I don't know. So it pound for pound, email list is very, very, very powerful, especially if it's B2B email list. And then you have word of mouth, which is passive, but of course, it's so strong. Word of mouth is my number one channel. B tier, I would say, is Twitter and LinkedIn, due to the very short half-life. You post a tweet, and within 2 days, it's gone. Gone into the ether, treadmill, forever you're producing content. SEO is the opposite, where I think the average lifespan for a blog is 2-3 years as compared to 2-3 days on Twitter. But it's so slow, so it balances out, I think. So I'll put them both in B tier. And also I'll put launches in B tier, because even though you can only launch realistically every 6 months or every year, whatever, it's an amazing way to get started and get momentum. Because many times what you need is your first few customers just to feel confident enough that, you know what, I'm gonna fucking stick with this and I'm gonna make it work. So that's what happened with me. I launched CyberLeads and I got my first 10 clients, and then I was determined, this works, I'm gonna make it work. Whereas the scariest thing is when you're trying to grow something that you're not even sure that it can work. So I think launching is a great way to validate your product, and that will give you the confidence to actually sit down and build one of all these channels, you know. That's why it's in B tier. C tier is cold outbound and marketplaces. Marketplaces are amazing, but you have long-term, you have platform risk. And cold outbound is amazing because it can work pretty quickly, but it does not scale fast. It's like a linear, and it only works when you are selling expensive stuff. So if you're selling like a SaaS product for like $50 a month, I don't think it's the best fit. Of course, the people that have had success with that, ConvertKit is a very famous story where they scaled with cold email. They went from 2K MRR to 200K MRR, and now I think they're making like 2 million a month, right? And their primary acquisition channel was cold email. However, asterisk, the founder of ConvertKit was pretty famous on Twitter. So that means, as I said earlier, that his cold email performance was amplified by his brand. Okay, so if you don't have a brand at all, it's not easy to stand out with cold email, and it would make sense to use cold email only if you're selling something expensive. Then in D tier we have Instagram, TikTok and ads. They can work, but I think they are either capital intensive or the conversions are very low. It's more like for brand. I would say that probably Instagram and TikTok are like amplifiers for other channels, just to build up your brand. Like, oh, I know you, have seen you on TikTok. That type of thing. And then you use like cold email, or you use like SEO and they know you from TikTok or YouTube or Twitter or whatever. And then finally, F tier, we have cold calling, sending presents, trying to go viral, and affiliates. I think these are the hardest to work. I've never been able to make any of these work in a way that, you know, actually made a difference in my business. So I'll add these in F tier. And my own channels, because I'm sure that people will ask me about this. So I reached $400 MRR by launching on Product Hunt and Twitter and Reddit. Boom, I got my first 10 customers at $29 a month. So that was 290 monthly recurring revenue, and I also had like around 100 recurring revenue from other products. So that's how I got my first 10 customers. That's why I'm a fan of launches. And then I tried everything, and I found, you know, that my Twitter started blowing up at that point. And then with Twitter, I was able to go from the hundreds of dollars per month to the thousands of dollars per month. Which this gap here is like the biggest gap, right? Because this, you go from nothing to I can live my life doing what I love and basically live my dreams. So this happened with my Twitter account. And then I was stuck at 4K per month, which many of you might say, okay, who gives a fuck? 4K per month is like an amazing amount of money. And I would agree with you, but I was bored and I wanted to grow even more. So what I did there is that I came up with a new productized service offering that cost, instead of $200 a month, it cost $2,000 a month. So at that point, I could use cold email in an efficient way. So cold email with Twitter and the email list that I launched, and also the word of mouth that started kicking in, I was able to go from $4,000 per month to $40,000 per month. And now I'm trying to get to 1 million, and I think maybe YouTube and podcasting and maybe SEO, maybe those things are going to help me get there. I don't know. But anyway, if you're wondering, like, how did I come up with this productized service thing and this and that, like, you can watch my other video that I just posted the other day one versus multiple products for solopreneurs, and how I'm able to stick with the same product but be able to take it to the next level every single time. So, overview before we end. Short term, launches, marketplaces, and warm inbound. Okay. Mid-term, cold outbound and social. And long-term, email list, word of mouth, SEO, YouTube podcasts. So as you can see, this is exactly how I moved. You know, I started like this. I went here, and long-term, I'm trying to go here. So this is, and now final slide is, you can tell how amazing I am at designing graphs. Okay, this is like atrocious here, but anyway. So we have like time, and we have, what's this? I cannot even see because I have the loom thing here. Anyway, doesn't matter. Scale. Okay, so scale and time. And you can see that some things they early on. Works really well in the beginning. A little bit later, like around 3 months, it takes for cold outbound to work. So in the beginning, I would start with a launch and warm outbound, and then midterm I would go cold email, and then social. Boom, boom, boom. Social can take you a long way, as you can see, and cold outbound can take you a long way. So together these two work really well. And then long term, which is where I want to go, because I'm somewhere here and I want to go like boom to the top there, is like word of mouth, YouTube, and podcast, and all those A-tier things, email list, those A-tier channels. So this is my perception of like all the different channels that may be useful for us. Let me know what you think. Yeah, much love. Love you guys. Bye.